Hi guys, in this episode of Decay, I am excited to once again be sitting down to do reactions to the boy group ASTRO with the album Blue Flame. This release was actually one of the first, if not the first time that I reacted to ASTRO on the channel back in like 2019, I believe. And yeah, we are pretty much getting to those bunch of albums by ASTRO, the ones which were released during the time when I've been doing these reactions. And I am pretty excited to get into this, because I've heard the title track of this album, Blue Flame. It's the same name as the album, but I've only listened to it like maybe a couple of times at most. Since it was released, so it's almost going to be as if I've never heard it before, and I am curious to see how much I'm gonna enjoy it and how much I'm gonna be enjoying the B-sides. But before we get into this album and see how much I'm gonna enjoy it, I want to apologize for taking so long to continue with my reactions to ASTRO. I promised a long time ago that I was gonna be reacting to every single album by ASTRO, and I still intend to fulfill my promise. It's just that it's taking longer than I wanted it to, but we are getting there. And obviously, I've also kind of thought about doing potentially album reactions to Weki Meki as well. That's also kind of going to start coming relatively soon, but it is going to be still a little bit away because I've recently decided to like start doing more frequent album reactions instead of doing them like once every like 5, 6, maybe 10 normal music video reactions. I've decided that I'm going to do them more frequently. Pretty much with every upload that I do of K-pop reactions, I will be doing at least 1, 2, potentially even more album reactions. So you're going to start seeing them more frequently. It's not going to be like months apart as it has been up till now. Before we get into the reaction though, I do want to remind you that I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out with my transition by donating to my Patreon or Ko-fi account. Because for those of you who didn't know, I am trans. And in addition to that, you also get access to a specific tier that I have over there, which will allow you to request, or should I say, demand me to do a specific K-pop reaction, be it to a music video, group, an album, anything that has to do with K-pop music. But if you don't care about that and you don't want to support me, that's fine. It's still appreciated if you simply subscribe to the channel, like the video, continue watching more of my videos. Everything helps, you know? But yeah, enough of that. I think we should just get into the reaction, starting off with the Blue Flame, the song, not the album, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it is this song, huh? I definitely remember it. It's definitely a memorable release. I think I might end up rediscovering my love for this song. Or discovering my love for this song. Because I'm kind of liking it a lot. So much so that I'm confused why did I not listen to this song more. Yeah, I feel like around this time they kind of had a little bit of a shift in sound into this slightly more mature style, you know? Because this is not that far off of One, you know? Man, Astro are so underrated. They're so good, and I feel like with the amount of skill that they have, I don't think they have the same level of popularity that they should. Because they're like decently successful, but with so many groups nowadays selling close to and above a million, I feel like Astro should sell at least like 600,000 albums. And they are not. Man, I'm really vibing with this song. Okay. Honestly, this is pretty much as good as I remember it being. Again, I'm not quite sure exactly why I haven't listened to this song much after reacting to it like back in 2019. Like, it's definitely stuck with me because I definitely remember the sound of this song and I definitely remember the chorus. And I'm pretty sure I've listened to it like maybe a couple of times, like I said earlier, but it's honestly really good. Like, it's one of the most memorable and most interesting Astro songs, honestly. Because it's like, outside of this song, there's like three other songs by Astro that I can distinctly, off the top of my head, remember right now. Those being Breathless, I think the other one's name was called All About You or something. It goes something like this. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da. That song I really like a lot. Then there's also One, which is another really good song by them that I like. And then there's the song by Rocky and Jinjin, the subunit song. Those are the songs off the top of my head that I can remember from them. And that includes these songs, so I don't know why I'm not more. I haven't been more in love with this song before this reaction. I really don't, because it's genuinely like really good. It's really memorable. It's really impactful. It's really catchy. There's definitely a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it, like a weird vibe at a certain part of the song where maybe it's just the production being a little weird, because it kind of feels like the voices are like about as loud as the instrumental and they kind of get lost in it a little bit. Usually it kind of happens after the chorus in this song, and that's kind of my only criticism toward the song. But other than that, it's a really fun and memorable song, and I really like it. You know, I think probably one of the reasons why I might not have necessarily vibed with this song back in 2019 is, one, I wasn't as extensively aware of their B-sides and exactly the kind of sound that they have for the B-sides and the quality of it and everything. Two, maybe I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the switch in terms of their sound, because I've been used to like their music being more soft and cute or something along those lines, and this is definitely a little bit more mature, and I don't want to go as far as to say sexy, but it is definitely more mature. So I might have not necessarily vibed with that, because at the time I definitely was still like coming off of my hate for BTS's change in sound, and a bunch of other groups kind of also had a little bit of a shift back in 2019, which now is more so because of the general shift from 3rd gen K-pop sound to 4th gen K-pop sound, and not necessarily just all the groups deciding to switch sound. It was just a natural progression of K-pop. But it still probably played a role into why I was bothered by this song's difference compared to typical Astro music. But honestly, now I like it. I genuinely like it a lot. And in terms of its quality, in terms of a rating, it's like a 9.6 out of 10 for me. I really like it. If this was released today, I feel like I would enjoy it, but I would still feel like it could have gone a little harder. And that's genuinely like how I feel right now. Like, that kind of weirdness after the chorus where the instrumental is a little bit too loud compared to the vocals kind of brings it down a little bit for me. Like, it feels like it could have been polished a little bit more, and I feel like the impact could be a little bit stronger. But other than that, it's honestly pretty good. And those are like minor nitpicks. Like, I'm still able to easily enjoy it regardless of that. So, yeah, I like it. It's good. But when has an ASTRO song not being at least pretty good, Yeah, I've criticized them for their music kind of sounding samey, especially if you listen to a lot of their albums in succession. It definitely starts to blur together, as I'm probably gonna say once I listen to some of the B-sides of this album, but the quality is still up there, and frankly, I prefer a group to be kind of like consistent in their music, in their sound, and the quality be high rather than them trying completely different sounds from every song, but the quality being very low or very likely to be low, So yeah, there's definitely trade-offs depending on which way you go. But I definitely enjoyed this song, and now I'm curious to see what the B-sides have to offer. So without further ado, let's continue with the next song, Go and Stop, in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my love, 아무것도 묻지 마. Don't say, oh my love, 내게 다가오고.
So yeah, I'm curious to see whether there's gonna be a shift in their B-side as well. Although, to be honest, I don't necessarily remember much about their B-sides at this point, because it's been like months since I last reacted to their albums. So far, I like this. Okay, I'm really vibing with this one. It has a little bit of that dance vibe that I really enjoy. And a little bit of that tropical summer sound as well, that apparently K-pop fans on average hate. Like, it was everywhere in like 2018. I personally like that style. I really like that oh girl, girl, girl part. It's really catchy. Ooh, the guitar as well. Oh my god. You can never go wrong with a guitar in a K-pop song. In my eyes, at least. I always love that. Okay. I've honestly forgotten how much fun it is to react to Astro B-sides. Like, I've forgotten how fun and how high quality and how catchy they are. And yeah, I've complained about it before, how like they kind of blur together a little bit, and I'm still worried about that being the case for this album. But I think the reason why they kind of blur together is because so many of them are genuinely like consistently high quality. Like, I think that's the reason why it feels like that. Because when you have every song be special and good, then none of them are. Whereas if you have an album of, like, let's say 5 songs, like it is the case for this album, and you have like maybe 2 of them be really good, the goodness of those 2 songs compared to the badness or mediocrity of the other 3 makes them stand out as that much better. So the reason why I'm saying this is because if it was any other group, I would have listened to this song a second time right now. Because this was really fun, I really liked the vibe, I found it really catchy and really fun to listen to. I definitely would love to listen to it outside of the reaction as well. But because I think pretty much all of the songs of this album are gonna be of this caliber, and considering that I cannot listen to every single one of these songs twice in this reaction, I'm just not going to, you know? But it is a song that deserves it, is what I'm trying to say. It is a really catchy and really fun song. It's not perfect. I feel like certain lyrics could be a little bit catchier. It definitely feels like a B-side, like it's not to the same level of like lyrical flow, let's call it, as the title track. It definitely feels a little bit more B-sidey, which makes sense because it's a B-side. But I still find it enjoyable. Like, the quality is still up there, and it's definitely a fun song. And I don't quite remember like when this album was released. I reacted to it apparently on like November 27th or something in 2019. So I don't know if it was released like in the fall or maybe in the summer, and it just took me a while to react to it, but it definitely has that summer vibe to it, which I definitely like a lot about this, you know? But yeah, like I said, it's not necessarily perfect, but for a B-side, I think I'm gonna give it a 9.2 out of 10. Really enjoyable. And I'm hoping that the quality is gonna hold out for the rest of the album, as well as like the enjoyment that I get out of it, which usually is the case. Like, I usually enjoy pretty much all of their songs from what I remember. So I think I'm gonna have fun with a lot of the other songs as well. So without further ado, let's continue with the next song, All About You, in 3, 2, 1.
Because of you, 저 하늘 위로 날아가는 게 뿐이야. 우야야야, 우야야야. Oh, maybe it's you. 난 널 만나고부터인 것 같아. 우야야야. 그래 맞아, 너를 봤어. 그때 말야, 너를 본 순간이었어. 네가 나를 보.
And it's still blowing my mind how consistent their quality is. I just still can't believe it, dude. And one of the most entertaining things about Astro's B-sides to me is the fact that because of their quality, I can literally visualize a music video for their songs. Like, this feels like a song that easily could have gotten like a slightly lower budgeted like music video that goes in addition to the main music video. I can definitely imagine that, and I can literally visualize it, and I love that. I love listening to a song that doesn't have a music video and getting inspired about what could be the music video, you know? Okay, this might be just the videos that I'm using for this reaction, but I really don't like how loud the instrumental is compared to their vocals. Like, I feel that their vocals are way too quiet. I think they should be more strong. Okay, we have another pretty fun song. And I want to apologize if some of you guys are binging all my reactions to Astro and I am just repeating myself and my opinions and criticisms or whatever, but the other thing about Astro's music that is, I don't want to say annoying, but it's annoying that that's how I'm experiencing it. But the other thing that is kind of annoying about Astro's music is that because in addition to the quality being so consistent and that causing every song to blur together, the vibe of all of their songs is so similar that their songs again blur together even more. And I'm saying this because this song is fun, just like Go and Stop was. It's fun, it's catchy, it's playful. But that's kind of the thing. So is Go and Stop. And it's like, the way I listen to music is by basically looking for the kind of songs that I am currently in the mood for. Like, sometimes I might be in the mood for hard-hitting and rap-heavy stuff. And then I'm gonna look for groups which mainly produce those kind of songs. Sometimes I might be more into cutesy stuff. In that case, I would listen to somebody like Twice, for example. Or maybe particular songs from Twice. But when it comes to Astro's music, if I want to listen to an Astro song, like Astro style song that is something like this, like kind of playful, kind of soft, kind of happy-go-lucky, if I want that kind of song, I can literally listen to any song by them. Any song. Like, they have very few, if any, songs that actually feel like they have a distinct vibe. And it is a little annoying because I think the quality of their music is great. And I enjoy listening to it when I'm doing these reactions. For sure, I definitely think they're like amazing group with great quality consistency. But at the same time, I want more variety. Like, so many of these songs just blur together. And when you have like 50 songs which have the exact same vibe, well, I obviously cannot listen to all 50 songs constantly, and I cannot realistically like decide which one of these songs I prefer to listen to when I'm looking for this more soft and like happy vibe. It's kind of hard to just like decide to sit down and listen to their B-sides. I guess that's kind of why I stick to like their title tracks and pretty much only like the 4 or 5 that like feel like the most distinct and interesting. Because otherwise there's like 50 songs to pick from for this particular vibe. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm harping on it too much, but it is something that just is present for every single one of their release and kind of taints every single one of their release for me a little bit. Because it's just like, I want to listen to this song after I'm done with this reaction, but how can I justify it when every single other song of theirs has pretty much the exact same vibe for all intents and purposes? You know? Like, what makes this song more listenable compared to Go and Stop? Realistically, kind of nothing. And especially because Go and Stop had a little bit of that guitar in it as well, which this one I didn't really notice, so there was that. But then All About You had a little bit more catchy chorus in my eyes, so again, there is no clear better songs in their discography, so it's kind of annoying picking out which songs I have an interest to listen to and which I don't. Like, compare that to somebody like Stray Kids, for whom, yeah, you could say that a lot of their discography is the same noise music, if you might. But at the same time, the quality difference is far bigger between their different releases, so I can still kind of stack them up in a way where the better songs I listen to more, whereas the ones that I think are worse, I listen to less. And there are certain songs by Stray Kids which I've not really ever listened to because I don't enjoy them. But with Astro, with all of their songs being so similar, it just makes it so I can't listen to any one of their B-sides, you know? But yeah, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. I don't want to whine about this too long. So getting back to how I feel about this song, I mean, it's pretty much the same for me. I enjoyed it slightly less than Go and Stop because I feel like Go and Stop had a little bit more of an edge to it because of that guitar and the general more of like a dance, like summery vibe compared to this one, which I didn't really feel like it had that. This one felt a little bit more pure K-pop kind of thing, but it was still fun, it was still catchy, it was still enjoyable. So in terms of rating, considering I gave Go and Stop a 9.2 out of 10, I think I'm gonna give this one a 8.9. It's still a pretty solid, fun song. And we still have 2 more songs to check out, so without further ado, let's get into the next one, When the Wind Blows, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm liking the build-up of this one.
길을 걷다가 멈춰버린 발걸음 너와 걸었던 거리였던 걸 알았던지 지워진지 오래였던 네가 마음 한구석에 있었는지 넌 지금 뭐할까 난 요즘도 똑같이지 평소와 다른 건 하나도 없어 나 똑같은데 달라진 건 아마도 시간이 지나고 지난 것밖에 그리고 바람이 또다시 온 것밖에 없어 나 뺏고 아무 일 없었는데 꿈엔 다 잊었던 믿었는데 다시 네 생각에 잠길 줄 몰랐는데 찬바람 불 때면 내게 있었던 네가 문득 보여 찬바람 불 때면 네가 떠났던 날의 내 모습도 이 계절이 오가 바람만 찾아오니까
Okay, so this one is definitely the weakest one so far.
잠시나마 그때를 기억할 수 있었어 고마워 여전하게
Again, it's not bad, but it's definitely the weakest. I'm still noticing like the typical structure of the Astro song and the things that make me enjoy Astro music, it's still there. But I just feel like it wasn't quite as polished. Like it feels like maybe there should have been like 2 or 3 more drafts that they should have gone through before releasing it, you know?
변하지 않는 너란 희망을 만나 지금까지 난 버텨왔는데 찬바람 불 때면 내게 있었던 네가 문득 보여 찬바람 불 때면 네가
In particular, I feel like just this chorus is a little bit weak.
찬바람 속 깊이 너와의 추억이 담겨서 잊혀지지 않나 봐.
Funny thing is though, this one is actually the most different out of the B-side so far, so it's kind of a little bit more memorable. Despite the fact that it's a little weaker, you know?
찬바람 불 때면 내게 있었던 네가 문득 보여 찬바람 불 때면 네가 떠났던 날의 내 모습도 이 계절이면 바람과 찾아오니까 그러다가도 지나가겠지만 잠시나마 그때를 기억할 수 있었어 찬바람 불 때면
And also, I really like the vocals in this one in particular. I feel like are really fun and interesting. Ooh, now I think I realized what the vibe of this song reminds me a little bit of. It kind of reminds me a little bit of 17's Don't Cry. Like this ending part where they say Gumawo reminds me of not 17's Don't Cry, but 17's Thanks. It's my mistake. It's 17's Thanks because it sounds like the chorus of Thanks when it goes Gumapta. You know how that song goes, potentially. And I kind of enjoy this one. Like, it's weird. I definitely feel like it's kind of weaker compared to like Go and Stop and All About You. It doesn't necessarily feel like as consistent. Like, it definitely has the weakest chorus of the bunch. But at the same time, the fact that it's a little bit less consistent in terms of its quality, and it has a little bit of a different vibe, kind of makes me like it more because it stands out more. I think that's my biggest issue with Astro's music. It just doesn't stand out. Like, the different songs don't stand out from each other. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I haven't reacted to Astro music in like probably a year at this point. Like, I haven't recorded a reaction to an album by them. So I'm just getting all of this out of my system once again. But yeah, I enjoy this one. I enjoy the more moody vibe of this song. Maybe I'm just kind of connecting it in terms of its vibe to 17's Things, and it doesn't really necessarily have that moodiness to it. Maybe I'm just connecting them and associating them because I'm reminded of that song. But the point is, I really kind of enjoyed this song despite the fact that it's kind of the weakest of the bunch. Like, I enjoy the title track the most. I still think it's the best song of the album so far. But this one, in a way, it's kind of the second best for me because it's the second most memorable after the title track. And I guess that's kind of more important for me than the quality of a song, actually. Obviously, that is still important, but a song leaving an impact and being a little bit more memorable and stand out seems to be more important than its consistency or quality, if this song is any indication. But yeah, in terms of a rating for this one though, I think I'm gonna go with an 8.6 out of 10. And yes, I know, considering what I just said, I probably should give it higher, but again, I'm judging the quality with these ratings for the most part, not necessarily my personal feelings or how much I enjoy it. I'm trying to be as objective as I can while still kind of including a little bit of my personal opinion in that rating. And I feel like 8.6 is a pretty accurate rating because I do genuinely believe like this is kind of the weakest song so far, but it is also kind of more interesting because it stands out due to that. But yeah, we still have one more song to check out, but I honestly don't really have a lot of high expectations for this one. Usually the kind of songs with this kind of name, like You're My World, are kind of like ballady. I'm expecting that it's going to be more ballad-like and slower and more emotional, and especially when I'm not like watching a music video, it's not really going to be that entertaining, but it's Astro, so who knows, maybe I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one. So without further ado, let's get into it and find out in 3, 2, 1. I was right about the ballad. Yeah, I feel like at this point I can guess which K-pop songs are gonna be ballads based on their titles. Usually the titles always come off very sentimental. And they are very personal. Also, for whatever reason, a lot of K-pop groups love naming their ballad song Universe for some reason. There's a surprising amount of ballads called Universe. And don't get me wrong, this is not bad, but I was gonna say, it's not really gonna be a song that I'm gonna be listening to outside of this reaction, but this chorus has kind of changed my opinion on that. I really like how it sounds right here. I might have to listen to this one a second time, honestly. Okay, I'm honestly kind of surprised at how engaged I am throughout this song, honestly. It definitely takes a little bit of, like, skill and quality for a ballad to be, like, engaging. But this one is doing it. I'm definitely enjoying it. So props to ASTRO. And it also manages to be like very memorable compared to some of the other more energetic songs we've checked out of this album. So that's also helping it a lot. Man, this song is long. Okay. Definitely did not see a ballad being the best song of the album. I mean, obviously outside of the title track, because I still think it's the best. But to be honest, I've heard it before and seen the music video before, so I kind of don't consider it like in the same way that I am thinking about the B-sides of this album, which I've not heard before. And out of these, this one is definitely the most interesting one. It's the most engaging, it's the most unique, it's just the most interesting. That's pretty much it. It stands out from the rest of the songs by being a ballad, and also it has the very engaging chorus, especially the part where it goes that I just love that kind of choruses. I love that idea for a chorus. It just works so well in my eyes, especially for a ballad. Because, like, I don't, like, on average, like, hate ballads or anything. It's just that, especially nowadays, for the most part, whenever I listen to K-pop songs, I want to listen to, like, very energetic and powerful kind of songs. Not really something emotional like this. Despite the fact that I guess in my early teen years and childhood, I was definitely more into these more emotional releases. But again, when it comes to like music in English, like American music, I'm able to understand the emotion that is being conveyed because I can understand the language. Whereas with K-pop, because I cannot understand the language, I cannot necessarily feel the emotion of the song as I'm listening to it. I can only rely on the song, the way the song sounds itself to convey the emotion to me. And that's very hard to do when you have that language barrier. But sometimes rarely ballads manage to break through the language barrier like this and manage to still convey the emotion and still manage to make the song like engaging enough simply on like an audio level, to the point where I end up enjoying them quite a lot, like with this one, you know? It's just a really fun and really catchy song. And yeah, sadly though, I am not gonna be listening to it a second time because there's a lot other videos that I need to record for today, so I need to get through this as quick as I can. But I definitely enjoyed it. And in terms of a rating, I'm honestly gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's the best out of the ballads, and there's a big likelihood that I'm actually going to be listening to it outside of the reactions as well, especially because I'm considering kind of sitting down and listening to all of their songs in one sitting to pick out which of their songs are like the most interesting and the most engaging, and like putting those on my playlist, because I haven't really like listened to their B-sides or the albums that I've reacted to already on the channel. I have not listened to any of these songs again after doing those reactions. So I've completely forgotten how the songs sound like, which songs in particular from those albums were like really good and I enjoyed a lot. And I feel like I kind of need to have that point of reference again. Plus, I just want to get, once again, a better understanding on which songs of theirs stand out the most. Because despite the fact that I've listened to so many of their songs, and despite the fact that it's been months since I last reacted to them, I honestly don't really feel like I've understood their music necessarily, or like, I don't really feel like I am in depth with my knowledge of their music as I am like when it comes to like Stray Kids or something. Like, I don't feel like I know their music as well as I do for Stray Kids. And that is because a lot of Astro's music just kind of blurs together, so I kind of have to remind myself of it. But yeah, I don't know. I've pretty much repeated myself like 50 times in this video, which I'm sorry about, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in the other Astro reactions as well, but this was pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed all of these songs, honestly. I'm gonna make an effort to like listen to them more, to be able to like tell them apart more, because I think the biggest reason why so many of their songs just kind of blur together for me is because I only give them like a surface level experience. Like, I experience them only like just on like one listen, one go through, and it's not necessarily possible for every song to leave the impact that it can leave just simply out of one listen. Like, how many songs that I am a big fan of from my favorite groups, I wouldn't necessarily have been a fan of those songs if I didn't listen to those songs like 5 times before I got into them, you know? And that's kind of the same for Astro, I feel like. But I guess there's also just a simple criticism that maybe if a song does not stick with you just after one listen, then is it good, really? I don't know. That's not really a decision that I am supposed to make. I'm just a person on the internet with opinions on K-pop because I just love talking about my opinions about stuff, you know? But yeah, I'm curious though. What do you guys think about these 5 songs and any of the things that I talked about when it came to Astro's music? Comment your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 4 patrons on Patreon: Omar Bridgman, Deadpool, Corvidet, and Drew. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, have continued to support me in such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe. Also, check out the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account, where you can pledge support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!